4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
Encouragement that we are more focused than ever to make sure that we redeem this country, that we reclaim this country, that we rebuild this country. And the process of reclaiming and redeeming this country and rebuilding it requires a lot of self-sacrifice. It requires a lot of commitment. It requires a lot of gathering than scattering. It is therefore my appeal that during this very dire session that we have engaged ourselves in, that we try to gather as much as we can and scatter less as we can. Because all of us at this particular time, everybody matters to us. And now, moving forward, I would begin perhaps by tackling the question of the IBC and where we are at the moment. And what are we waiting for? They changed the criteria of constituting the IBC, and they proposed that the constitution of the panel that will select the commissioners. They said, one, the political parties will have serious role in participating in the manner in which the commissioners will be selected. For example, the political party liaison committee, which is a liaison committee that is constituted of all the registered political party in this country, notwithstanding whether those political parties have complied with the Political Parties Act or not, they were granted an opportunity to appoint 3 representatives who will sit in the panel to select the commissioners. Kenya Kwanza was equally given 2 slots to select the commissioners. Azimio was equally given 2 slots, 1 slot for members of the public. But the question is, this is a very important panel that will reconstitute the IBC. We are in this mess because the IBC decided to ramble down our elections. The IBC decided to take the direction they took. So are we waiting and are we watching the country taking the same route of constituting an IBC that perhaps may not have the integrity that is required to oversee a secure, a fair, a free and fair elections? I am calling upon you, brothers and sisters, that we focus on this particular panel. The panel is the one that is mandated to appoint the IBC commissioners. The person of whose seats determines how the election will be conducted in the future. Equally, it will also determine whether or not the commissioners that we shall be constituted will be people of integrity, people who meet Chapter 6 of the Constitution. That is to mean, even if we were to say that we are now beginning to recall our members of parliament, again, the IBC, which is the commissioners, will play a major role. Number 2, on the question of parliament. Yes, it is true, parliament has failed this country. It is true, parliament is an extension of the executive. It is true that parliament is a moribund. But the question is, strategically, what should we focus on first? Should we focus on the ineptness of parliament, or should we focus on making sure that William Ruto goes? And then if we are therefore to look at those 2 dynamics, if we are to say that William Ruto must go, 1, by way of resignation, if you look at Article 146, which calls or which speak about the resignation of parliament, it is constitutionally incumbent that a resignation of our president cannot be tendered in the absence of parliament, because the Constitution says that it is the Speaker of the National Assembly who shall receive that resignation in the event it arises. I do not see in my own thinking William Ruto ever tendering his resignation. Ako na kichwa ngumu sana, huyo mtu hawezi resign. So the question of resignation is almost a tall order for us to keep on pushing on it. But the other question is, do we have other constitutional tools that are available in the Constitution that we can roll into motion to make sure that William Ruto does not get to 2027? Because that is our issue. I submit that yes, we have a constitutional tool that the people can use, and it is a tool of impeachment. If then we are to say we shall apply the tool of impeachment to take William Ruto home, whom or who shall participate in this process of impeachment? Again, it is Parliament. Parliament plays the major role. It becomes the playing ground where this impeachment will be manifested. So we realize that if we focus on Parliament and we focus on William Ruto, then we shall be losing the battleground in those two fronts. In my view, Parliament as it is currently can be redeemed. And it can be redeemed from William Ruto by applying a lot of pressure on them to make sure that they were elected for purposes of representation of the people and not to represent William Ruto. I have seen a lot of I've seen a lot of serious paradigm shift from the members of Parliament because ya historia kusalimiwa kila wakati. So it looks like if Parliament is pushed to a corner, it looks like they can take a route. They can take a turn and start supporting the people. That is to mean, therefore, if we are to take the tool of impeachment as a tool of making sure that William Ruto does not get to 2027 as a means of dislodging William Ruto, Parliament becomes an integral player, and we can make sure that we push them the way we pushed the finance bill, so that they may then vote with the people. That will also give some impetus and some vocal point to the revolution. Remember, the revolution is fizzling out because we do not have a vocal point. We do not have something mali tunalenga sisi wote. When the revolution was high and up in arms and in high spirits, we were all focused on the action of Parliament in respect to the finance bill. If we give Parliament another burden of impeaching William Ruto, it means that it is going to rekindle the spirit of the revolution, and the people will start focusing on the question of impeaching William Ruto. We will go to the streets saying impeach, impeach. We will go to occupy Parliament again to tell them you must impeach William Ruto this time round. So that becomes, in my view, another way of rejuvenating the spirit of the revolution. The final one is where we are saying that, number one, the resignation has failed. Number two, impeachment has failed. Then we go to factory setting. We go to the second Tuesday of August 2027, where we are saying then William Ruto will go out by the way of the ballot. Then the question is, are we then prepared for the ballot? That is to mean, if option one, resignation, fails, option two, impeachment, fails, we go to the constitutional tool of the elections. How have we prepared our people for option three? Where option three will be the climatization of the entire revolution and the manifestation of the results of the revolution. In my view, I do not think that we are taking proper actions and proper steps towards preparing ourselves for the 2027 elections. In my view, we need to make sure that people get the most crucial tool of making them ready for 2027, and that is the national identity card. The national identity card is the key to the warehouse that will send William Ruto home. How many Gen Zs have registered as a citizen of the Republic of Kenya? The other question is, do we have the facilities that are capable of producing all the IDs that are pending between today and 2027? And don't you think William Ruto will sabotage our revolution by making sure that the facilities are not available? I am proposing that we devolve the process of registration of the people to the counties, or to the most minute level that people can easily and expeditiously get registered. That is to mean the equipment that generates the IDs must be removed from Nyayo House, be taken to where people can easily collect them. It should be our priority to push that IDs be issued as many as we can. But again, that William Ruto will sabotage because he knows that is a tool that he cannot evade.